Hey guys, Adam here, and welcome to a new On the Couch Rewind. So this has been a long time coming, but since Defenders is coming out this week, this coming Friday, might as well go ahead and get the last 4 Netflix series out of the way, and we're going to start with Jessica Jones. Now, like I said in a previous video, I was gonna do like a rapid fire review, but Jessica Jones is a character I was never really familiar with. I knew about her, I kind of knew about some of her story and how disturbing it is, and how ABC wanted to make it a television show as well years ago. Brian Michael Bendis was actually wrote it back when he was actually a good writer and not someone who just pandered to an audience that doesn't even fucking read. Yeah, I went there. Jessica Jones is the story of a private detective, or a PI named Jessica Jones, of course, who, when she was a kid, was in a terrible accident that cost the life of her family. But she ended up getting these powers, like super strength. She can jump really high, and that's it. She also had a bit of an attitude problem, but I mean that's kind of what is supposed to make her more endearing, especially when you find out more about her. And this is where the meat, I want to say the meat of the show is her backstory. That is what we're following. Jessica Jones is a rape victim. She is a survivor of being held hostage by Kilgrave, aka the Purple Man, for, I want to say 3 months? 3 months or more, and where he just mind controls her to force her to have sex with him and do all these things for him. It takes place, I want to say, a year after she breaks free of this incident, and she's got severe PTSD. What happens is, but then a year later, the same thing has happened again with someone else. She finds the girl who has been kidnapped by Kilgrave. As she's bringing her back, the girl kills her parents, and now Jessica Jones has to clear this girl's name while stopping Kilgrave. Meanwhile, Kilgrave is actually creating an elaborate plot to get Jessica Jones to love him again, to make her his again. It's a good show. It really is. For about 8 episodes. The show does overstay its welcome, is what happens. So, let me go ahead and get characters. Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones is really good. I wouldn't say her character is the best, because like throughout the entire show, she's got this chip on her shoulder. She has severe PTSD, which, yes, which is bad. Like, oh my god. When she has PTSD, it is chilling. It is horrifying to see. But you only get to see her have PTSD for like the first 3 episodes. And then it just, I don't know, part of it just feels like it goes away. It really does. But she's not a terrible character, but she's not the most interesting. The problem, I feel like the problem with this entire show is the majority of the cast is unlikable. They're unlikable. They're not, like, I mean, I get it. They're meant to be. It's like, well, here's the darker side. Here's a group of characters where they're not clean cut. They're not like Matt Murdock as Daredevil, where they have morals, where he has a moral code. This is Jessica Jones, who's trying to find that morality again while dealing with something that traumatized her horribly. For the most part, Kristen Ritter really does a good job at this. Like I said, for the first 8 episodes, I found her engaging, save for some questionable things she did. But again, that is part of her character. But I wasn't mad at her. I don't think she's the worst character ever. I really don't. I think she is a good character. I just feel like I wish there were more moments where we got to see more of her morality break out. More, and not just like small, like quick cut moments, you know? I mean, I hope that makes sense. Next, you got Trish Walker, who is based on a character from the 40s who becomes a Marvel character named Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat. Here, she's also a victim of abuse, but this time by her mother. Trish is a former Disney Channel style TV star. It's actually a rather clever, the most clever part of the show of satirizing satirizing Disney, and how a lot of Disney Channel stars, they had this clean-cut image then, but then years later, like Miley Cyrus and whatnot, and Demi Lovato, you see them and they're kind of spiraling out of control. You don't see that dark side. Here, Trish has that dark side, but it's from her mother, played by Rebecca De Mornay, who just abused her. And again, like the Kilgrave parts where with Jessica, what you see when Trish and Jessica are young girls, you see Rebecca De Mornay's Trish's mom forcing her daughter to puke in a toilet to make her lose weight. You're going, holy fuck, this is horrifying. This is wow. Next you got Malcolm DeCoste, who is Jessica's neighbor, who is a junkie, who starts off as a junkie, but then later he gets clean and he becomes a little more, he tries to help other people who are affected by Kilgrave. There's a support group. Jessica uses it to create this excuse for to find Kilgrave, but Malcolm decides to use it as a support group to help him and to help others. He's trying to make something of it. And he's actually, honestly, he's one of the more, when he gets clean, he's actually one of the more noble characters. He's actually one of the more likable, one of the more clean-cut characters. When he's high as fuck, you kind of think, oh, he's not gonna stick around long. No, he's there throughout the entire show, and he's actually really engaging. I actually felt for him, and it actually was one of those moments where, when Jessica finds out that the reason that he's also part of Kilgrave's plan, it's one of the better moments for her when she actually tells him, look, get clean. I cannot force this on you, but I'm not going to let you kill yourself. You've got to make the decision here. And I thought that was a really good moment for the two, because it established that they're good, that other than Trish, Malcolm's the only other friend she's got. And this is a guy who's going to stick around for her. You got Luke Cage, who, honestly, I'm going to talk more about in the show, or when I review his show. But Mike Coulter's really good. Mike Coulter's fun. I like Mike Coulter as Luke Cage. I think he's a very good choice. His scenes with Jessica are very well done. They get very sexy. Oh my. And I really enjoyed his scenes. He does have a good arc here. It does tie into Jessica's story, and also will later tie into his. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because I want to save the rest of it for his show. There was another character, I can't fucking remember his name now, but he's the cop. He's supposed to be Nuke from the comics. I don't know much about that character, but I didn't like him. I thought he was, at first I thought he was just a character that was just meant for one episode, but he stays throughout the entire episode. He is nothing more than another obstacle. The problem I have is there are so many obstacles in this show, and he just becomes another one. And it's annoying. Like throughout the entire show, he is making dumb decision after dumb decision that makes matters worse. And he's supposed to be this special ops guy. And yes, I understand he's supposed to be like a guy who had his brain fucked with. And it's made him paranoid. But it's to the point where you're going, okay, I'm starting to think less that this guy got a little crazy because of Kilgrave, and more he was crazy to fucking begin with. I just didn't like his character in this. I found him aggravating. Carrie-Anne Moss as, I want to say J Money, but that's Iron Fist. Fuck, why can't I remember Carrie-Anne Moss's character's name? Jerry Hogarth. Jerry Hogarth is like the lawyer who is like a defense attorney who takes winning cases. She's this no-nonsense, cold-blooded character, and she's also one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's first gay characters, and I actually like that. They make it a thing, but it's not forced. It actually feels real. It feels like an actual woman who's going through a divorce of her own doing, having an affair. It actually feels real here. It's not one of those tacked on things. And a lot of the things she does, where she does do stupid things, and you're like, oh my god, why would you do that? There's more motivation behind that than, say, fucking Nuke, Officer Nuke. And so you kind of get behind it, but you don't like her because she is kind of a terrible person. A lot of the things that happens to her is her doing, and there has to be consequences to it. Next is Kilgrave. Honestly, the best character on this show, and and yes, I know, I am talking about a fucking serial rapist. I know, but honestly, David Tennant makes this character work. I can't see anyone else in this role. He is honestly the best thing on the show. He's honestly one of the best Marvel villains in the MCU. He really is. And I'm just kind of going, oh my god. Why am I finding this serial rapist investing so likable? I don't know why, but I think it is just because David Tennant makes him fucking charming. Now, granted, he still plays him like a despicable piece of shit, and you know it. I don't know, maybe it's because it's kind of like Hannibal Lecter. You know what he did is terrible, but you just find him too charming, you can't help but want to talk to him. Hannibal Lecter manipulates you through his intellect, Kilgrave manipulates you through his actual mind control powers. And that's the other thing. Kilgrave is actually more like a big man-child, and you get a story like that behind it, and at first you think you're about to sympathize with him, but really you don't. It is more like, oh, well, his parents wanted to cure him of this, but you get that what they did could be considered borderline abuse, but then you realize he started using his powers to torture them, and that doesn't make him any better. And you are kind of going, God, like when you thought you could at least sympathize with this guy just a little bit, you don't. And honestly, that makes him more interesting. Is I do kind of like those villains that there is no sympathy for him. You don't like him. You can't like him. That I do like those kind of villains. In this one, he is a very three-dimensional character here. Now onto the character I fucking hate. Fucking Robin. Robin is a recurring character who is unfucking bearable. She is hands down one of the worst characters. This is a character that could have only been in the show for 2 episodes, and that's fucking it. No, she's in this throughout the entire fucking thing. She's, again, another fucking obstacle in the show that is so fucking unnecessary. And it's all because her brother gets murdered by Kilgrave, all because her brother is in love with him. And oh god, just, an obstacle that is so out of place with this character, or with this show. Her brother is in love with Jessica because Jessica is one of those people who actually decides to go tell Robin to fuck off. And honestly, after that first appearance of Robin, that should have happened. Here's the thing. I'm sure the actress is fine. I'm sure she's a good actress. I'm sure she's a nice person. Here though, she's overacting. She's hamming it up more than fucking David Tennant does in this show. And David Tennant does it in a way where it works. She does it in a way where, oh, well, I'm in a comic book show, so I don't really have to fucking try. I just have to go, oh, well, I am eccentric like an actual comic book character. Ah! And I'm kind of going... And the other thing is, like, when she finds out her brother, like, when she's, like, looking for her brother or something, it's like, she's supposed to play it off, like, they're playing it off like she's, like, an overprotective sibling, even though they're twins. And, like, apparently her brother is, like, this man-child or something, like, autistic or some shit. It's almost to the point of, and like, for me, it feels like a little incestuous. Like, and like, she, again, like I said, she's an obstacle. When she finds out her brother was murdered, she goes, oh, well, it wasn't Kilgrave's fault, it was Jessica's. And she just, oh my gosh, she does the dumbest fucking thing as an excuse to make this show go on longer. That's the only fucking reason. Is what she does is she rallies everyone in the support group to storm Jessica's place, beat her up, and save Kilgrave because he's tied up. Because, you know, everyone in the support group has said how Kilgrave ruined their lives, and now they're trying to save him, and it backfires because of course it does. And it's all because Robin is this stupid, crazy person, and how anyone thought, oh, maybe she's got a point. Maybe we should listen to her and go out and get after Jessica. And, like, honestly, if it was like this plan that, oh, well, Kilgrave told her to do this, I could actually buy that. But no, that isn't what happens here. It's just Robin is a fucking crazy idiot, and oh my god, I never rooted for the death of a person on a TV show so bad. I wanted this person dead, and we don't get it. God damn it. Kilgrave gets killed off, but this person doesn't. Next, I'm done with the characters. For the most part, like I said, they're unlikable, but some of them are meant to be, and that actually makes them more interesting. Although, again, like I said, the serial rapist is the most likable one, and that's kind of... You never thought, like, that may be an issue with who you got cast in your show. Next is the story. Like I said, there's a lot of obstacles. The problem with this is it is stretched out. The structure does start to fall apart a bit after episode 8. And you can feel it. You can feel it stretch, and it really didn't need to be 13 episodes. It could have been 8. It could have been 8 episodes, and it would have been perfectly fine. There were some parts in the show that could have been cut out. Like Robin could have been cut out. The support group could have been cut out too. There are just some things that could have been left out. Another thing about the show is it is trying to be more realistic than, say, Daredevil. And it's trying to portray people realistically, but at the same time, it has this weird thing for satirizing like a counter, like different alternative cultures going on. Like it is satirizing. It's kind of like sometimes it does a really good job of satirizing Disney Channel stars. It satirizes. Oh God. It satirizes. I don't want to. Well, not feminism, but I mean, but honestly, Jessica Jones would be one of those characters that I would not consider a feminist at all. Like she's one of those characters that doesn't give a shit about your cause. There's another scene where like Malcolm is high off his ass and he bumps into a cyclist, and the cyclist is like, "Oh, well," it's like, "Well, you got all that poison in your body. I'm trying to be healthier. I'm trying to save the environment." Jessica just tells him to fuck off. I was like, "Yeah, dude, like you're a credit to humanity." I'm like, that feels odd. Like, it's one of those like I get it, like trying to make fun of those counterculture movements that like think they're helping humanity, and when really they're just kind of doing it for selfish reasons. Like you're just like, "Oh, I'm better than you," kind of thing, and I can get behind that, but it feels cartoony. There's a really good sequence where Jessica is interviewing all these supposed Kilgrave victims, and you got the ones who. The ones who are portrayed straight are the ones who actually were actual victims, and then you got the ones who are just looking for attention. Like one is like, so there was like, yeah, he was like an Asian dude wearing a red shirt, and his eyes were glowing yellow. Whoa. And it's like, okay, obviously the guy's a stoner. Okay, but he's playing. Here's the thing. I know some stoners. Not like the majority of them are not like that. The majority of them are chill, but they don't talk like this. They're like, "What's up, man? How's it going?" Like that's them. Like that's them. And then you got like another one. It's like, "Well, my daughter is a virgin, and show them, honey." And like her daughter's with her, and she's pregnant. It's like, "Yeah, he was like telly hot." It's like Kilgrave fucked my daughter. I'm like, okay, they're playing it cartoony. Then there's like a former fan she accidentally beats the shit out of. Just because he actually grabbed her, and again, because of her years of abuse, she doesn't like being touched. So, and like her reaction is going to be beat the shit out of someone who's grabbing me. Again, that's actually a realistic response. But the guy who plays the guy who grabbed her is this fan, but the way he acts as if, "Oh God, I want your hair." Like it's like, "I miss your red hair," and like kind of wanted to cut her hair, like just smell her. Like yeah, that guy's probably got some bodies. so I can understand you wanting to attack him. Like there are things like that, and it's a little weird. Some of those feel out of place, but it's but I get where they're coming from on that. And like I said, the show is not bad. It's actually very good. It's not my favorite. We'll get to that, but it's not a bad one either. It's a really good show with really good characters. A really good story, just a very drawn out one, with a few issues of pacing and unnecessary obstacles, but the setting is very good. What I love about these shows right now is, and honestly for the MCU in general, is they are trying to make them different. And just going by the Netflix series, you got a courtroom drama, vigilante courtroom drama with Daredevil. Jessica Jones. You have a noir here, and they really play it up. They have her do narration throughout the entire show, and it's one of those narrations that does work. It really does work. There was another thing I forgot to mention. There's one episode where she takes a case of infidel. This woman hired her because, like, oh, I think my husband's cheating on me. And it turns out, because of a previous episode, that it was a plan to get Jessica killed by the woman who hired her because she has superpowers. It's meant to be this whole, oh, well, because of the Battle of New York, people died, so anyone with superpowers, we blame you for things that were not even, for something you didn't even do. And it's one of those, I get it, but it's obviously setting up Civil War, and it's unnecessary. Like I said, there are unnecessary obstacles in this show. Daredevil was 13 episodes, but it stayed focused. It stayed focused, like every episode was connected. Everything in the first season never felt unnecessary. Here, there are some things that you could have easily cut out. You could have cut out the entirety of that episode, and that was the 4th episode in. And you could have easily cut, like, a lot of it out. Final score with Jessica Jones is an 8 out of 10. I really do like this show, and it is a show I go back to, but sometimes it is very hard to rewatch it because you know the stupid shit that's going to happen, but also because it does make you rather uneasy because of Kilgrave. Kilgrave is a really good character. He makes you just, like, your skin crawl. And yet he's also charming. He's very much like Hannibal Lecter. So yeah, next I will be reviewing season 2 of Daredevil. One I've actually been looking forward to. And then after that will be Luke Cage, and then Iron Fist, which is going to be the one I watched most recently, but probably the one I'm going to have the hardest time remembering. So I'll come back with those, and I'll see you guys next time. You guys have a wonderful night. Bye.